Today we are live at ASK Showground and this is Nairobi International Trade Fair. Kama kawaida tunakujanga live from the office, but today we are live at ASK Showground. This has been a Trade Fair week na leo CRB 101 inakukujia right from this place. Now my name is Alan Omondi kama kawaida, and here at the CRB 101 today I am joined by one of the people who bring you this content, mtu mmoja wa power sana, so he's going to introduce himself and then we can move from here.
Hello. My name is Lawrence Baraza and we are here for FAQs at Showground. So it's going to be a good conversation. Tune in, ask any question that you want. But along the way, mpaka show iishe, Alan hapa na mimi tutaengage ile tunaweza. Karibu.
Yeah, so venye Lawrence amesema tuko hapa kujibu maswali zako zote, you know. So all the questions you have, this is the time. Pale on our Facebook page, Metropole CRB, turn in, ask all the questions. Tag your friends wenye wanakonga nasoma swali za CRB. This is the time to get all their questions answered. So we'll just answer a few of the questions we've received in our tent. Tuko na tent yetu hapa Showground. So if you're planning to come, the show is ending on Sunday, so you can come today, you can come tomorrow, you can come on Sunday. You'll find us a team of very dedicated Metropole members ready to answer all the questions that you have and all the details that you may need. We are here to serve you guys.
Yeah, so to begin with, Alan,
yes.
I'm going to ask you a very disturbing question. Na nimeisikia to some of my friends out there in the estates. Why do I need, well, first of all, why CRB?
Why CRB?
Why CRB and what is it and how significant is it to a Kenyan borrower?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are questions that we've also gotten from here. Na venye umesema hata mtaa, our friends keep asking. Like just today, it's interesting that there was a customer who came and just asked me like, what does CRB do? So we are a custodian of information. What we do is we receive or share information between us and the financial institutions, basically lenders. So I'll give an example. If, for example, you borrow from a financial institution, this financial institution share that information with us so we can keep that information. Why are we keeping that information? The next time you want to borrow, especially from, say, from a different lender, they're able to see your credit credibility. How do you borrow and repay your loans? How is your status? So these things help them to make a decision whether or not to give you a loan. Yes. So that helps them. Also your score helps them on how to go about giving you a loan. If you wanted a loan, say for example, to repay within a year, and they see your history, they can say that you will need to pay it after 6 months.
So by score you mean, is it a credit score, or what do you mean by score?
I mean credit score, yes.
Credit score.
And a credit score ranges from 200 to 900. I'm going to explain that in a bit, or I can just do that now. If your credit score is below 400, then it means your repayment history is not so good. You borrow but pay loans past time, or you have defaulted. But if your score is 600 and above, it means that your repayment history is good. So those are the things that helps the financial institutions decide whether or not to give you a loan. Yes.
And repaying loan, does it include Fuliza? Because I want to understand Fuliza is also part of. Do you categorize it as a loan? And if yes, then does it improve my credit score? Because you find most of Kenyans, I say, they are borrowing on Fuliza, ranges within 300 to 500 shillings.
Yeah.
So does my credit score improve based on my Fuliza?
It does. And you've just asked if Fuliza is categorized as a loan. It is categorized as a loan, and this is why Fuliza is under NCBA, and so is Mshwari. So when you get your credit report, for example, and you do not understand it, you see that there are NCBA loans and you say that you've never borrowed with NCBA, you don't have an account with NCBA, and you're wondering, why does NCBA have information on your credit report? Now, if you look keenly, you will see that the lending institution is NCBA, but type is a mobile loan. So, for example, Fuliza has your mobile number, the one that you used to borrow. Okay, so it is categorized as a loan under NCBA, and yes, it affects your credit score. If you pay your Fuliza past time, it will affect your credit score. So that's why you need to borrow. If you Fuliza, you just need to repay it in good time because it affects your credit score. Yes.
Interesting. And I have a very good friend of mine hapa anasema.
Yes.
Kwanza anasema he's very intrigued to
Yeah.
see me on camera. Thank you, buddy.
And I wanted to say the same
Yes.
thing. You know, Lawrence specialty is behind the cameras. Whenever you see me coming live on Fridays, Lawrence is always behind the production, making sure that everything is okay. But today is up here.
Tunasema we are here with the populace, acha to engage now.
Yes.
So this friend of mine
Yeah.
is asking, he's had Fuliza limit
Yes,
at 500 for the longest.
for the longest.
Haipandi,
Yes,
okay? Wala haishuki, hata akichelewa kulipa.
yes.
Is it something that CRB is in a position to answer? And is it tied to a credit score? What is it?
So this is a very good question.
Yes.
Because it's a question that we receive a lot of times. Mtu anasema kwamba he or she has been saving na limit yake haipandi ama hana limit. It's either hana limit is zero, or limit haipandi. So they're wondering, and they borrow and pay on time. So what we do normally, as I had said earlier, we are just a custodian of information. The financial institution ndio wana deal na mambo za limit na nini na nini. And every financial institution, different financial institutions have different policies. So they know how they calculate it, they know how they increase your limit or decrease it or have it at zero. So normally when you have a problem with the limits, kindly contact the financial institution. Yes.
What about Mshwari?
Yes.
And to what bank is it tied to? Ama is stands alone as a DCP. By DCP, I mean a digital credit provider.
So Mshwari and Fuliza, as I had said earlier, those are under NCBA. They do not stand alone. But we've just brought up a very interesting thing about DCPs. There are digital credit providers, just as Lawrence has mentioned, and those are likes of Branch and Search. Yes, the ones that you just download an app on your phone and you can be able to borrow depending on the need that they've given on the app. So yes.
Now another issue, and I've had a very interesting time trying to explain to the populace, those who have shown interest to come to attend here at Showground.
Yes.
Their interest is, so ni nyinyi wale CRB?
Yes.
Mnaweza nitoa CRB?
Yes.
Is it a relevant question, or how is it true that mtu anaweza tolewa CRB? Please.
Very relevant question. Very valid question. So this is what happens. I know pia watu wanakujanga wanasema, when we just mention CRB, they're just like, nyinyi ndo mnatuwekanga CRB, nyinyi ndo mnafanya tunakaziwa kupata loans and stuff like that. So we don't do that. This is why. If you borrow, we don't know that Lawrence borrowed, all right? Now, until the financial institution shares that information with us, that is how we know. So if you borrow, CRB has both negative and positive information, all right? So by negative, I mean zile umechelewa kulipia ama zile hujalipia in good time. But we also have positive information.
Before you proceed,
Yes.
Zile umechelewa kulipia in good time.
Yeah.
What is good time in terms of loan repayment?
So time in terms of loan repayment depends with the institution. Whenever you're going to borrow, and we'll just give an example of Mshwari because we've used it a lot. When you try to borrow and you've placed an amount, you say 30,000, wanakuambia you need to repay it within 1 month, right? So you agree to the terms because kuna terms and conditions every time you try to borrow. So you've agreed you're going to repay it within 1 month. That is 30 days. Now 30 days elapse na haujailipia. What happens? Now they tell us that Lawrence borrowed. We agreed that he was supposed to pay after 30 days.
Now, who's telling you that?
The institution.
The institution,
Yes.
which have borrowed from.
Which you've borrowed from. So
Okay.
the institution is sharing that information with us. Now, if you fail to pay after the 30 days, it starts counting days in arrears. All right? So day 1, day 2, day 3. If it goes up to 90 days before you pay, that is 3 months, now that information is shared as negative information. All right?
Okay.
So that is where negative information comes in. But positive information, you request a loan, you agree that you'll repay it after 1 month, you repay it after 10 days, that is positive information. So we have both of that. Now, back to your question. Do we remove or put people on CRB? Now, you've already understood that we have information shared by the lender, it's there. Now, when you pay that loan, say you paid after the 3 months, after 90 days, what we do is the information will share the information with us that now Lawrence has paid the loan within there about 2 to 4 working days. So they give us a number known as a batch number. We update that account. Once it's updated, it moves from default to performing. But now, something interesting. It will say performing with default because you had defaulted that loan. All right? But when you just pay it within the time, it just says performing. So those are performing accounts. If you pay it past time and you are negatively listed, it will say performing with default history. You've paid, it's been updated, but there is a history of default.
Oh, so you carry this history all along, all the way through?
We carry this history all through.
And then until what time
Yes.
should it read as performing, not with default?
So if you have defaulted a loan, it will always read with default history. But this is something that happens as well. The information that is on your credit report is from a 5 years period. So after 5 years from the time of repayment, the information is deleted from your credit report.
After 5 years?
After 5 years from the date of repayment, the information is deleted. So even if you had a information with default history, after 5 years, it will be deleted from your report. Yes.
Is that information, is it the kind of information that is that you show on a credit report, or what does a credit report show?
So a credit report has a lot of information.
And why is
actually.
it important to me as a borrower,
As a
or
borrower.
to that person as a borrower?
So question number 1, a credit report has a lot of information. When you get your credit report, and we are going to tell you how to get your credit report later, the first page has your biodata. So biodata basically is personal information. So your name will be there, your mobile numbers, your date of birth, your nationality, all those things will be there. So mobile numbers, all the mobile numbers that you've ever used to borrow will be displayed on your credit report. Another thing, if someone else registers their SIM card using your ID, that mobile number will be on your report. Say, for example, your younger brother has not attained the age of 18 and they do not have an ID. So they buy, of course they have a phone, they buy a SIM card and they register it using your identity number. That mobile number will be on your report. All the numbers that have registered using your ID are on your report. Then there is a summary of the loans you've been borrowing on the credit report, still on the first page. Now when you flip now, has those loans in details. Yeah, all the performing accounts, non-performing ones, performing with default history, disputed accounts, if you've ever disputed a loan, all that information is on your credit report.
Interesting.
Yes.
I've just seen something interesting. You know, tuko hapa showground.
Yes.
And I've seen a monkey. Umeona monkey?
Yeah, we are seeing interesting things. Yes.
Yeah, so fellow Kenyans and anyone around the world who is watching us, tuko hapa showground, SK, all the way to Sunday.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
we have a tent. Come to us. We will have all the answers to any question that you might have.
Yes.
At the same time, drop hapo kwa kwa comment section, tutajibu straight away. Alan is in a position to do that.
Yes, tutajibu maswali zako zote. So we were just talking about a credit report. Now, how do you get your credit report? If you've never registered, if this is your first time listening to us or watching us and you're wondering how can you get your CRB status or who has shared your data or know your credit score or get your credit score or credit report which has all this information in details, if you're at home, you can self-serve yourself. You just dial *433 hash. You can use your Android phone, ama kama una Android uko na kale katululu, still works. *433 hash. Pick on option number 1.
Katululu ni kabambe.
Kabambe, that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, so *433 hash. Pick option number 1. It will give you prompts on how to register. Registration is 100 Kenya shillings, one-off. Once you pay, we will generate your credit report. Send a message with a link on how to download the credit report. Number 2, if you have your Android phone, you can download our app. It's called Cristobal on Google Play Store. Watu wa iOS tutawafikia pia. Msikuwe na wasiwasi. Watu wangu wa iPhone, we will get to you. But right about now, Play Store, ingia pale, tafuta Cristobal, download the app. It will show you on how to. It's a very simple app actually, very simple. You can go check it out, register, you will get your credit report. Now we have an active call center. So kama we ni mtu wa simu ama you need any information ama you need any clarification, you can always call us on 0709 723 000. Utatupata pale kwa call center, tutajibu maswali zako zote. I'll repeat the number 0709 834 000. 0709 834 000. Kama unataka kuchat na sisi WhatsApp, we are up and active. 0704 723 666. Drop all the questions that you have na utaweza kujibiwa. Kama kawaida, Facebook inakuanga very active. So we don't just come to you on Friday peke yake. All through the week, all day, every day, have any question, check out our Facebook page, Metropole CRB, na utaweza kusaidika.
Including Twitter at Metropole CRB.
Yes.
LinkedIn, Metropole Corporation, and also tuko YouTube. Sahi unaweza tupata YouTube pia.
Yes.
At Metropole TV Kenya. Every Friday at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. The place is Metropole CRB on Facebook, Metropole TV Kenya on YouTube. Tupate pale, let's talk, let's chat, let's engage, let's help each other. Up until then, adios.
Bye bye.